Like previously, I may like there are some mistakes in the creating the tables and inserting the table. So I corrected it, and now you'll have the data in the tables. Okay. So this is table one will have the data 1, 2, 3. Table two will have the data 1, 4, 5. So my requirement is that. Okay. What is my requirement? I want to get the list of records which are their own, which are common in table one and table two. I want to get the list of records which are common in table one and table two. So what we'll do? So whenever you want to get the records from two different tables, you should always use joins. Whenever you want to get columns from two different tables, you need to always use joins. Okay? You need to always use joins. Remember, you need to always use joins. Now, I'll write select star from table 1. Okay? And I'll give alias as t1. And since I want common records in both the tables, I need to write inner join. This is syntax. Then you'll write a table 2. I'll give the value as t2, alias as t2. Then on condition, on what basis you are asking system to see that okay this is not there? Because here I want to see on the ID. So that's the reason I'll be checking on the ID to see whether I have that ID repeated in both the tables or not. Okay. So then because of that, then I'll join on the ID. T.id equal to T2.id. So we are good. Now I'll execute it. I'll get the data. So since I have given star, okay, it will get columns from all the tables. Whatever the column I have in the table 1, it will get. Whatever the column I got in the table 2, I'll get it when I give star. But if I call manually, I want ID from table 1 and ID from table 2, then it will throw an error saying that okay, you are calling ID, but system is confused whether this ID belongs to table 1 or table 2. System is that's the reason it shows here ambiguous column name ID. 2 times it has been repeated because you have two IDs. The system is confused to get that ID from table 1 or table 2. It is confused. So that's the reason what you have to do is that since you are given the table 1, right, alias it, or you can call this column name with table 1 dot column name, or just since you are given the alias, right, you can use that alias throughout the query. Whatever the alias you are given to the table, you can use that alias throughout the query. Okay, just t2 dot id. Now when I do that, I'll get the output. See, okay, since I am doing inner join, now if I want to see, this is the way. If I want to see the only IDs of table 1, because since both are common, both will have the same ID, right? So I can get an output. I can just ignore this one ID and I can get only one ID. That's it. So now I'll get ID that is there only in one that are common in both the tables. See from the output. See, one is there in both the tables. So I got one. So we are good. That is nothing but the inner join. Okay, left join. Okay, left join. So what left join? What I'll do, I'll explain you about the cross join. Okay, so this is for the inner join. So everyone is clear with the inner join? Okay. Next, I'll explain about the cross join. What is meant by the cross join? Sorry, there is one more scenario. The same inner join. Okay. I'll explain you after the cross join. Okay. So I have a table 1 and table 2, and I'll given some conditions, or else I'll write the query and I'll show it to you. Okay. What is meant by cross join? Cross join is nothing but select star from table 1 comma table 2. That's it. There is no inner join, there is no condition. When you have something like this, column select star from table 1 and table 2. Okay, what the system is going to do is that it is going to take the record from ID first table and it is going to join with all the records. So this one record will become, when it joins with the table 2, it becomes 3 records. 2 will become 3 records, 3 will become 3 records. So the number of records you will be getting is that number of records in table 1 into number of records in table 2. So I have 3 records in table 1, 3 records in table 2. So my output will be 3 into 3. That is 9 records I will be getting. Now you can see. Okay. So I got table 1, 1, 2, 3. See here. And this table 1, 1, 2, 3 records joined with one record. So it is showing 1. Again this 1 2 3 will join with the second record. That's why you got 4. Again this 1 2 3 will join with the third record of table 2. Are you able to get my point? The cross join. So now what we'll have is that the same cross join I can convert into the inner join. I'll write above. If we don't have the condition, that is nothing but the cross join. But the same cross join, I'm going to convert it as an integer. Like I'm going to convert it as a like inner join. See, table 1. Then I'll call table 1 dot id equal to. Okay, I'll call this a table 2 dot. So instead of that, I see always in the SQL Server, if you are joining two tables, so you should be prepared, right? Make a practice. Always you'll call the columns by using table name dot column name. So generally, if we have the table name is big, just you can give the table name as alias, and you can call by using that alias. Instead of writing a table 1, I'll write just T1. Next I write T2. That's it. Done. Okay. So now when I do this, now it becomes an inner join. Are you able to get my point? Hello? Can you all hear me? So this is for the outer join. Okay. So one simple example for the outer join is that. So let's say I have a I have a course. Okay. The course will have the course ID, course name. Course ID is 101, 102, 103. ABC is the course name. Then I got some table with the student. The student will have the student ID and student name. Student ID is 001, 002, 003. Student name is 1A, 2B, 3C. Student name. But now what I want is that I want to assign all the 3 courses to each person. Okay. Then what I want to see is that I want to see output where I'll have the student ID 001, 001, and the student ID will be assigned to all the 3 courses. Are you able to get my point? Hello? Okay. This is the way how you will be using the like cross join. Okay. Now the real scenario comes. Now I'll be using the outer join. Okay, outer join. I'll be writing the outer join. So in the outer join, first I'll be going with the left outer join. Okay. And one more thing, for inner join, I can write inner join, I can write join. Both are same. Okay. If I write join also, it is nothing but the inner join. If I write inner join, both are same. Okay. For the outer join, left outer join. So when do you use the left outer join? Let's say I have 2 tables. I want to get the list of records that are there only in left table, not in the right table. So whenever you join here, so you do the inner join for the table 1 and table 2. So this is a join. To the join condition, whichever table is left, that is left table. Whichever table is right, that is the right table. Okay. Now I want to get the list of records where the records are there only in table 1. Okay. Then you will use the left join. I'll explain you now. So just I'll write, so here I'll write select star from, but along with that you should also write some conditions. Along with joining, you should also write some conditions. Table 1, okay, left join or left outer join, both are same. Okay, left join table 2. So I'll give the alias for this as table 2. For this I'll give as table 1. Okay, now on t1 dot id equal to t2 dot id, and I'm doing select star. Star means it will pull all the columns. If I give by id, if I call some column names manually, then I need to give t1 dot id, comma, as I'll name it as alias as t1 id. Next t2 dot id, I'll name the alias as t2 id. Okay, now see, when I join this, what happens whenever I do the left join, the table which is on the join left side, that is nothing but the left table. The table which is on the join right side, that is nothing but the right table. So here, when I do the left join, I'll be getting all the records from the left table. If the record is there in the right table, you will get that ID. If the record is not there, then you will get the value as null. So what are all the records I have in the left table? 1, 2, 3. And see, is 1 is there in the right table? Yes. So you will get one value here beside that when I execute this query, because I am calling columns from both the tables. 2 is not there, so you will get null value. 3 is there, you will get the null value like this. Okay. So I got ID from table 1, ID from table 2 I am calling. So I have IDs 1, 2, 3 in table 1. In the table 2, I add ID 1. You will get it. ID 2 is not there, so you will get as null. ID 3 is not there, then you will get as null. This is for the left join. Similarly, the same thing if you do for the right join. Okay. The same thing if you do for the right join. I am writing here, there is no space. So ID table 1, ID table 2. So what are the records you got in the table 2, you will be getting that. Since 1 is there in the table 1, you will have it. 4 is not there in the table 2, you will get as null when you use the right join. Okay. So the same scenario happens here. I'll select the select star from and execute it. When I execute, I'll get the, see, I'm calling the ID from table 1 and I'm calling ID from table 2 and I'm joining on IDs. Okay. So now since the ID is there in the table 2, I'll get it. There is no ID for table 2 and record 2 and 3. So that's the reason I'll get null value here. Now, but what is my requirement? I want to see the IDs that are listed only in the table 2. Sorry, that are listed only in the table 1. That are listed only in the table 1, not in table 2. Okay. See, 1 is listed in the table 1 and 2. That's the reason you got here. 2 and 3 is not listed in the table 2. So that's the reason you got it as null. But what is my requirement? I want to have only these IDs that are not there in the table 2, but they are in table 1. Then what I'll do? Since here table 2.id is null, right? When I use the left join, writer table, you will filter on the writer table. When you use on the right join, you will filter on the left table. Now I use on the left join, right? And you got the null values in the right table. So I'll filter on t2.id is null. When I do this, 2, 3 is not there in the table, so I'll get 2, 3. Okay. And because I want to have only the IDs, I'll not call the ID from the second table. Okay. See, I'll get only the IDs. Are you clear with this? Okay. So this is for the left outer join. The same way I'll be having for the right outer join. Okay. I'll copy the same query, or else I'll explain you here. I'll write select star from table 1 and I'll give the alias as table 1. Full right outer join, I'll just give right join, right outer join, both are same. Table 2 as t2 on t1.id equal to t2.id. Okay, here I'll be calling t1.id equal to t2.id. Okay, this is one that I'll be calling here. Now, sorry, I kept equal. Sorry, it should be comma. Okay, I'll give the alias for this. So this is from the t1, right? So I'll call it as T1 ID. This is from the T2, then I'll call it as T2 ID. Okay. Now right outer join. When I given the right join, so I'll execute your left join. See, I'll remove this. I'll uncomment the code. Now we'll see. I'll run the left join without. I'm not selecting the wait condition. Just running only the left join. What happens? I'll get all the records from the left table. If the record is in the right table, I'll get it. If the record is not there, I'll get it null. But I'll get all the records from the left table. The same scenario with the right join. When I join this, I'll get all the records from the right table. If the record is there in the left table, I'll get it. If the record is not there, then I'll get it as a null. But what is my scenario? I want to get the records that are there only in the right table. Then I'll filter on the left table where t1.id is null. That's it. Since t1 id will be null, here I'll be commenting the t1, this one, t1 id, so that I'll be getting only the IDs from the t2. Since it is a writer join, so I'll be taking IDs from the t2. See 4, 5. So everyone is clear with this left outer join and right outer join. Okay. So now the other concept I am going to cover is a full outer join. What is a full outer join? Full outer join is nothing but, okay, combination of left and right outer join. So when I have left outer join, how many records am I getting here? 3 records, 1, 2, 3. Huh? And next, when I use a full outer join, right outer join, then I'll get the records from the right outer join. But see, in the both whatever queries I executed, like last two, I ignore the wait condition. Okay. So now here, this is the stuff. So I got the left and right outer join. The combination of the left and right outer join is nothing but the full join. Okay. So I'll have the same t1.id here, t2.id, table 1. But here I'll give the full join. Full join. That's it. Full outer join and full join both are same. Now when I do this, what happens? I'll get the records from table 1. I'll also get the records from table 2. Okay. If the table 1 records are not, the record is not there in the table 2, I'll get as null. If the table 2 record is not there in the table 1, then I'll get as null. Are you able to get my point? Yeah. Okay. This is the way you do for the full outer join. That's it. Simple. But one more thing is that now I am getting the 2 records in 2 columns, right? If I want to get that in a 1 column, okay, in a single column, I want to get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a single column. I can write this in a different scenario. Simple. Okay. I can write this in a simple scenario. How to do is, what I'll do here, I'll just remove as conditions. I'll give is null. That's it. I'm going to explain about these functions later on, but just giving an idea to you. I'll name it as ID. When I run this, I'll get the records 1, 2, 3 in the 1, 2, 3, 4 in a single column. Are you able to get my point? Hello? No, I didn't get this Srinivas. Oh, if you want to use in the where condition in a join, so let's say this is my scenario, okay? Yeah, Srinivas was asking how can we use where conditions? Just simple. So let's say I'm getting, this is the output I'm getting now. t1.id. But what I want to is that I want to filter the record where the t2.id is 5. Not equal to 5. I want to filter it. So I'm just doing that. This is one, are you asking Srinivas or different one? Hello? Srinivas, are you asking this one or different one? How can you use where condition in outer join? I'm unable to get your question, Srinivas. Can you say some scenario? If you want, you can call me and explain it. There's no issue. Okay, you can call me right away. Because I'll make this is Shilpa also will understand about that. Okay, you can call me now. Yeah, yes, Srinivas. Yes, yes. Oh, you if you're talking about the full outer join. Okay. So, yeah, what you were saying is that like Shilpa. So you are saying that okay, we have the full outer join, right? Can we use the full outer join? Yes, because full outer join nothing but is a combination of left and right outer join. In the full outer join, if we give right table dot left table dot id is null, then you will get the records that are there only in the table right table. See, if I use right table dot id is null, then I'll get the records only that are there only in the left table. Sorry, only there in the left table. You got my point, right? It's that's it with the full. You can use the full outer join, you'll get the two records. So you can use any one condition. But don't never use a full outer join unless it is necessary. Use a separate joins. If you want, if you have a scenario where you have to use a left join, then use a left join. Don't use a full outer join because it is going to get all the records. So it's going to waste your time. Okay? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that for these scenarios, uh, I'll just copy these scripts and paste it in the team viewer. You can copy and have it. Okay? Yes, you can create that tables and you can execute them. Then you will be able to get the output.